The spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and it's Saturday, and you know what that means. It's time for weekly purchases, that time of the week where we investigate what came through the door via DHL, Amazon, United States Postal Service, UPS, FedEx, and of course, that old outlaw Waylon Jennings. We also tie that into all the action figure news of the week. We put it all into a ball, and we do call it weekly purchases, and we always start weekly purchases off with a recap of the week that was here on the channel. A lot of videos going up on the channel like this week because so many things have all hit at once. If you are a Patreon supporter, you got about 30 videos that haven't even hit traditional YouTube yet. A lot of content over there on the Patreon, and best of all, as I always say, it supports the channel. But let's run down some of these videos we did this week on the channel in case you missed them, so you can go back and watch them at your own convenience. AEW Unrivaled Series 10 was ranked from my least favorite to my favorite, so check that video out. We also did the same, very similar video with the Legends Series 15 wave, the Target exclusive Mattel. Of course, we ranked those from my least favorite to my favorite, and we unboxed the Chase Lex Luger there in the orange trunks. We did a little Star Wars unboxing this week with the Stormtrooper George Lucas figure. We unboxed the Deluxe Edition Cobb Vanth, which could be the cash grab of 2022. I don't usually get too negative about that kind of stuff, but I really do feel that was a hardcore cash grab. Check out that review. And then from the comic book collection, Black Kirsten, whoever we want to call him, the biggest, baddest Wookiee on the planet, or in the galaxy, I should say more like it. We did unbox his figure as well. We did start unboxing Elite Series 95. Those videos have been up for about a week on Patreon. We still have a few more to get to on the traditional YouTube, but we're slowly working our way through Elite Series 95. Make sure you check those out. Some cool things that came in this week. Cody Rhodes and Britt Baker, brand new Supreme Series 1. Had to see what all the fuss was about. More on those in a little bit here, but very, very cool for sure. Tuesday tradition on the channel. You guys know Jack's Class Superstars Tuesday. We have transitioned to unboxings. We got a lot of unboxings to do in the Jack's Class Superstars line. We unboxed some last Tuesday. Guess what? We're going to unbox some more next Tuesday, so be ready for that. Lionel and the Thundercats. Big week for Thundercats fans here on the channel. Brand new Super 7 Ultimates. We unboxed the San Diego Comic-Con Lionel from Hook Mountain. The Mirror Lionel. We unboxed Vulture Man. And then, of course, Captain Hammerhand is still over there on Patreon as of this filming right here today. So check out those. Those are all up there on Patreon, on the traditional YouTube channel as well. Hottest of hot garbage I've had in a long time. I've got a lot of negative response on my review on this, and that's okay. It's my thought. It's one man's thoughts on these. But a line I was excited for, throwback to my youth, the Kenner Superpowers line. Well, McFarlane has them as a Walmart line. Currently hitting your Walmart stores. Be on the lookout for them if you are on the lookout for them. We got to say the hottest of hot garbage. Not even worth the $10 price point. Colors are wrong. The action features don't work. Immediately they put a hole in the cape as they put thread through the cape. Total eyesore. Wrong logos on Batman and Superman. Just the hottest of hot garbage. The packaging is the coolest thing about this, but then we did hear some leaks of Series 2 coming out, and it's guys that weren't even in the original Kenner Superpowers line. So I don't know what they're trying to do here. Doesn't make a lot of sense for me, and I'm saying, guess what? I'm out. I'm out on that line. This is not for me. I'm not buying any more of those. We unboxed some G.I. Joe retro figures. We'll talk about those in weekly purchases. I got some anger with those as well, as a lot of collectors do, I think, right now. Young Bucks 2-pack. It was an angry week here on the channel. The Amazon exclusive Young Bucks Unrivaled 2-pack. Another one. I got all fired up in the review because you spend $50 on figures, you don't expect staining to the figures. And that Young Bucks set, for whatever reason, hey, let's protect the arms that don't have any cloth on them, but we won't protect the upper shoulders and stuff that actually does have cloth on them. And then they protect the waist, and we still have staining through the plastic on the waist. Man, what are we doing, Jazzwares? That has to be fixed ASAP, but check out that review out there. Talked about Tuesday tradition with the Jack's Class Superstars line. Well, the Thursday tradition is the Kyle Peterson Top 5. And Top 5 this week was my Top 5 Ultimate Editions so far. So far, obviously, this list is going to change big time here in the next year or so. It could be a totally different list by that time. But very, very cool. The Ultimate Edition's really catching fire right now. Figure we take a step back, we look at my top 5 ones that I have so far, and as I always say, put your top 5 in the comments down below. We also did our weekly figure hunt this week. Of course, out on the hunt, always out on the hunt. You got to be. A little bit of a doldrums of the summertime right now in the figure hunt, but still some fun to be had out there. Check out that video. And then I did a breakdown of the brand new Super 7 Ultimate Lemmy figure. It's finally becoming a reality. I had a video just separate on that, talking about what looks I would like to see, talking about Lemmy's figures of the past a little bit, and just my overall excitement for a Super 7 Ultimate version of Lemmy. Man, this is my day. That's got to be the figure of 2023 for me. I just hope the time goes fast and we end up getting that, and it looks exactly like the renders. As we know, Super 7 has some trouble with some human heads from time to time. But we got a little bit of a different sculptor on this one. One that is a Lemmy fan, is a Motorhead fan, is a heavy metal fan, and his name is Kyle, just like me, so you know he's a good brother out there. So I'm very excited for this Lemmy one, and you can see that in that very video we did this week. So now the long wait begins. So that was the week that was on the channel, a very, very busy week, as you can imagine. A couple other housekeeping things here at the top of the show. Wrestling Tees has their big summer sale going on right now, and like I always say, you got to get a deal. And if you're going to pick up a t-shirt, one of my t-shirts hopefully, or a Terry Funk shirt maybe, use code SUMMERTIME at Pro Wrestling Tees. I believe it's through the 6th. You can save 20% off your order. Got to get the deal all day long. Get your Rio shirt, get your Rockin' and Rollin', Struttin' and Strollin' shirt, get your Pointin' shirt, Turtle Anxiety. There's a lot of shirts over there, so cheap plug for that. And why not take advantage of it when it's all 20% off? So there you go. Hot deal of the day going on. Speaking of other giveaways, MLC Facebook group, comment in this very post. They're running a contest for 6 weeks in the weekly purchases. If you comment, you are entered into a $60 gift card to the Nerdzoic toy website. So check out that one. Check out the MLC Facebook group. Join up. Tell them Kyle sent you. So there you go right there. And then we did on the Patreon this week, we announced the July winners to the Patreon. The giveaway, of course, we do every single month over there. The July figures were Mace and Bret Hart from the latest Elite series. But now we turn our attention to the August Patreon giveaway. And what are we giving away in August? Now, you have to be a Patreon subscriber. You have to be at the $10 level and up to be entered. But what are we giving away this month? We're giving away the Walmart exclusive good old Bigfoot. There he is, Andre the Giant Walmart exclusive Bigfoot. We're giving that away. And then the ringside collectible exclusive NWO Hollywood Hulk Hogan. We're giving both these figures away. Like I said, all you got to do is be a member of the Patreon, the $10 level and up. Support the channel, all the free content, bonus content, and everything else. But you also get entered into the old monthly giveaway, and those are the 2 figures for this month. So please support if you are up to it, I guess. There you go. All right, a couple other things this week. We talked about the AEW Supreme figures and, of course, Cody Rhodes. Now, something really cool happened this week. I don't want to toot my own horn a little bit too much, but had a very, very cool interaction with Cody Rhodes. Of course, I did my review like I normally do my reviews, posted them on Twitter, SirPaul64, Instagram, _Kyle_Peterson. Posted here on YouTube, you know how that goes. But it was very, very cool that Cody Rhodes reached out to me in a DM and said, hey, keep up the great work with the unboxings and reviews. He even followed the channel. So it's always really cool when people that, you know, you see out there, you're reviewing figures of, things like that, your heroes maybe in some instances, reach out to you, give you some kind words of encouragement to say they like what you're doing. So I thought that was really cool and very cool of Cody Rhodes to do that because guess what? He didn't have to do that. He didn't have to do that if he didn't want to. So very, very cool. Reminds me about a year ago, Richie Faulkner, of course, from Judas Priest, the guitarist of Judas Priest right now. He reached out to me via DM, said, man, I watch your videos. I've saw your collector's tour. Very cool. Thank you for always supporting Judas Priest. Things like that. Very, very cool. And it's something I don't take lightly. So very, very cool of Cody Rhodes to reach out this week and give me some props or whatever you want to call it. So very, very fun when you get interactions like that, be it on YouTube, social media, or whatever. But I wanted to thank Cody Rhodes for that. So there you go. Little bit of news this week. I got to tell you guys, we're getting the San Diego hangover. I think a lot of people are on vacation. I know my actual day job out there, very, very quiet. And it's usually just balls to the wall busy all the time. Well, not this last 2 weeks. It's been a little quieter than normal. I can get ahead on some work, some stuff done. It's actually a nice change of pace, but it seems to be that way in the toy news industry because there's not a lot of toy news here after the San Diego Comic-Con hangover. I think a lot of people are on vacation. I'm sure it'll start ramping back here up in August, but this week, just a few things. Not a whole lot going on, but let's kick it off with a little Masters of the Universe Revelation talk. Old Skeletor came on Masters Universe Tuesday on social media, of course. He's been announcing something new for the He-Man lines every single Tuesday. Well, this week, they announced Too Bad is coming to the line. I can't wait till we get our Too Bad origin, but the Revelation Too Bad looks pretty cool as well. So a very cool one. They're doing a lot of cool figures in that Revelation line. It's got a little bit of a restart. It's kind of gotten away from the Netflix show a little bit, branched out to some designs, new Eternia, things like that. It's really being an all-encompassing line, which I think is what it needs to be if it's going to have legs to continue to grow, and that's what we're getting here with Too Bad. So looks really good. I will be pre-ordering that when the day does come to pre-order that. So there it is there. Marvel Legends team, they can't go a week without an announcement and a pre-order. And they did put this up on Hasbro Pulse. It's also on Amazon, probably other retailers as well. It's the Venom, Riot, and Agony Symbiote Marvel Legends 3-pack. That seems to be the holiday pack for this year over there at Amazon. Amazon always has kind of an exclusive pack. This seems to be that one this year. Always cool to be able to build out our Symbiote shelf, and that's what we're going to be doing with this. Venom, it's a lot like that Venom 2-pack we're getting around the same time, or some people already have apparently. But it does have a different head on this Venom, so once again, you can choose your own head adventure, do that kind of things. But a very, very cool pack, a very solid pack, beautiful artwork pack. I always love a good box set, so I'm excited for this one, even though I don't like the price of $70+, but it is what it is in this day and age, as we know. So we got that Friday. It came down to a game time decision for me. I went back and forth trying to decide, do I buy this or not? And I ended up pulling the trigger. We'll see what happens. But Super 7 Ultimates, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Glow-in-the-Dark editions ended yesterday. So if you didn't order by now, you're pretty much out of luck because these were a Super 7 store exclusive, much like the Foot Soldier from a month or so ago. I said, well, I got the Foot Soldier ordered. I have Baxter Stockman. Do I need these? Do I not need these? I went back and forth, like I said, and I did end up pulling the trigger. I don't know if that was a good decision or not. A little bit expensive, but we'll see. I'm all in on that turtle line. Even though we haven't unboxed them here on the channel, I have all the series still to unbox. I just have not got around to it. I just need some serious time off where I can just devote like a week to unboxings, things like that. I don't know if that's ever going to happen. I got to sneak them in when I can, and primarily Sunday is when I do all the unboxings for the week. So we'll see what happens, but the Glow-in-the-Dark Turtles will be coming my way in about a year. So stay tuned for that review when it does come here on the channel. Make sure you subscribe. There you go. We talked Lemmy Super 7 Ultimate. I don't need to talk about it in this video. Watch that video I did earlier in the week where I really break that figure down. I break down how cool it is, even down to the hands, the different hand gestures and things, how they are really speaking the Lemmy language, if that makes sense. Very, very cool. Check the video out, like I said, but it really does open the door. We talk about it in that video as well. Man, could they give us a heavy metal series like once or twice a year? Give us, throw Ghost in there, King Diamond like we've seen before, the Slayer mascot. You can get the War Pig Motorhead mascot. There's a lot of things you could throw in mascot ways, or give us like the Ronnie James Dios of the world, the Rob Halfords of the world. I think there's a lot of cool stuff they could do with a Super 7 Ultimates heavy metal line. I think the interest is there, but you guys know how it goes. Everybody votes with their wallets. That's what it's going to come to. So very, very interesting. We'll see where that goes. But man, you guys know, like I said earlier, I am hyped for the Lemmy figure. A little wrestling news, pretty quiet on the wrestling figure front this week. We did see from Cella, bone-crunching action, a Mike Chioda referee figure. I don't know about this one. I was thinking, I saw this, I was like, gosh, I forgot all about them doing a bone cruncher line. We know Adam Bomb and Blue Meanie are the first two. We know Macho Man, that's a pretty big one that a lot of people are excited for. I don't know if anybody's going to get up for Mike Chioda. I don't know. Nothing against him. He is a referee, which is always cool to have in the line. But I think there's so many retros, so many action figures from all properties coming at us so fast. I just don't know where this bone cruncher line will end up landing. Is there enough people wanting bone crunchers first off, and then the ones that want them, are they willing to spend like around $40, $45 per figure to get them? I just don't know if that is that business model, but I'm all about taking chances. That's what they're doing with this. We'll see how well this one sells. Something's got to give with our wallets, and I don't know if I can go all in on these bone crunchers, but I would love to. It's just, how do you do it? How do you justify it? And that's what you got to think too. But Mike Chioda is coming eventually, so if you're into that, check out Cella. They're going to promote it. You know they will. And then Rush Collectibles came in on Thursday with an interesting Instagram post. It said ECW style figures, basically, is what it read. I got it right here. It says Ringmasters with spray painted Extreme over it. And then it says Extreme Ringmasters. Now, does that mean they're going to make OSFTM style figures? That's kind of how I read that. I don't know if that is the case. Maybe they're just going to do retro style ECW guys. I'm not exactly sure, but it's enough to get my interest, and I'm all in. I'm all in if they're going to do OSFTM ECW style figures or ECW style retro figures. I love ECW. I'm all in on that, but they kind of left us dangling. I'm sure more news very, very soon about that, and pre-orders and all that kind of fun stuff. So an interesting week for news. Probably the slowest news week we've had in months, if not years, here on the channel. So that's all she wrote for the news. Album of the week, I listened to Anthrax, and it was like an album streaming called XL, and it was like 25 tracks. It was basically a best of hits, greatest hits album thing. I had a lot of conference calls and work to do, and I just kind of had it playing in the background all week. And I know the Anthrax catalog in and out, and very unfortunate I couldn't make the Black Label Society Hatebreed Anthrax tour. They were in Kansas City and Minneapolis in the last week. Unfortunately, work got in the way. I couldn't go to those things. That is pretty unfortunate. But I did listen to a lot of Anthrax this week, and it was always good to refresh some of those ones you haven't heard. You've heard them a million times, but sometimes you take like a year off from listening, and it almost feels new again. That's kind of where I was with some of those older Anthrax hits and classics, so that was a pretty fun album to listen to, even if it's not a real traditional album. Work next week, bringing me to Omaha, Nebraska. I'll be over in Omaha Wednesday, Thursday next week, something like that. So you might see me. Who knows? If you're out there in the stores, you might see me poking around. I could be around trying to find some place to eat. We got a big business meeting that night. Got to go somewhere fancy. I'm thinking Big Fred's Pizza. That's where I'm thinking about going for you Omahaians. That's my favorite pizza place over there, at least the ones I've had, and I've had many of them. But I'll be in Omaha, Nebraska next week, so that'll be in the figure hunt. You'll see what I can find on my way to Nebraska. So there it is. There is the weekly purchases news half of the show. Now let's get into the actual weekly purchases. All right, let's get down to the weekly purchases. In an interesting week this week. Not the busiest of weeks, not the slowest, one of those ones that's somewhere in the middle. And if you guys remember a year ago, 2 years ago, what is time anymore? Back in weekly purchases, a lot of the early weekly purchases episodes were about me picking up loose figures. Minty loose Ruthless Aggression figures as I was building that complete set. Well, we get a little bit of return to form with that one today, as we got a Lucy special, we'll end up calling this one. So without further ado, let's kick it off. Let's take a look at the weekly purchases. And this one I got this week after being in my eBay saved listings for 3-4 years possibly at this point. I've been looking for minty loose versions of these, but they never come up. This is one of the rarest Classic Superstars box sets, whatever you want to call it, in the entire line. Well, this week, just randomly, they did go up on eBay. Minty mint. These are fresh out of the box, which I gotta love that, of course. What is it? We're talking about Hulk Hogan. We're talking about Roddy Piper. These are part of the Kmart exclusive Classic Superstars 1 of 10,000 ring. So that ring does not come up a whole lot. When it does, it's well over $1,000. Now, I have it in my collection, mint in box, of course, but I want to have a loose set, and I needed these two loose. I didn't really need the ring loose. I just wanted the figures, and I've been playing the longest of long games, and that's what the long game's all about. You got to get a deal, and you got to wait and be patient. There's a few things out there I'm still looking for that just don't show up. They're not high value. They just don't show up very often. These were two of them, but these are very high value, but I got a screaming deal on these two. Very, very happy to have these in the collection. So very cool to get Hulk Hogan and Roddy Piper loose from the 1 of 10,000 Jakks Real Scale Classic Superstars ring. So very cool pickup for me. I really felt like a weight off my shoulders when I got to clear that off of my saved listings. Oh, it's a great feeling. You guys should try it. Here's the story of Kyle messing up. Here's Don Morocco, Jakks Classic Superstars. And here is the British Bulldog, Jakks Classic Superstars. Not very high value figures, of course, but what did Kyle do? You guys know I bought that entire Jakks Classic Superstars collection, and I went through, okay, which ones do I need for loose? Which one do I not need? Which ones can I sell, get some of my money back? You guys know the whole story. We did a whole 6-part video on that with my wife. We went through all those Jakks Classic Superstars pickups. Well, somewhere along the way, Kyle messed up his notes, or whatever, and he realized, hey, I sold my Don Morocco and British Bulldog I was going to open. Well, I don't know how that happens, but it did. So I had to rebuy these loose. But then, what do I find this week in a tub that I had mislabeled? I find these two. So now I got to sell my loose one, or I got to sell my mint on card ones. I'll keep these loose ones, but I did get these two. You mess up. When you got a big collection, every once in a blue moon, you do mess up. I'm just glad it was on, a $15 figure instead of a $300 figure. The small victories in life, folks. But there's some more Lucy's there. And then I've been slowly working on Deluxe Classic Superstars. I have a mint set. I've been working on a loose set. Got Lex Luger in this week. Old Flexi Lexi, of course. Now, this is an interesting one as well. I needed the Roddy Piper, and then I said, you know what? I got to go all in. Go big or go home, folks. I got both versions of Roddy Piper from the Deluxe Classic Superstars line. The only difference between these two is one has white wrist tape, one has black wrist tape. That is the difference. Not a ton of extra value here, but there is more rarity in the white one. But I did get these this week through the door as well for Deluxe Classics. I also got Michael P.S. Hayes. Oh, no, wait. He looks like him, and he always reminds me of him, but it is Big John Studd from the Deluxe Classic Superstars line. Big John Studd coming home. And then we got a very, very cool one here, the British Bulldog, Davey Boy Smith. Always liked this figure a whole lot. Got him as well this week. So a few more Deluxe Classics off the list. There's only a handful I'm still looking for. Playing a little bit of that long game, like I said. I'll get them all eventually. Just got to wait. So then we'll give that the old see you later, goodbye. And then how about it's Kyle's Custom Corner. Oh, yes, Kyle, one of the great customizers of all time, as you guys follow the channel. You see my great customs I do. Wait, I'm not a customizer at all. Never claimed to be. I just love the people that can do that kind of stuff. It's just not for me. But what Kyle can do is very simple customs, very simple head swaps. And that's what I got here this week. I finally got around to doing these. Thought I'd show them as part of weekly purchases. Did make the old Shawn Michaels comeback. Used the John Nada Roddy Piper figure from the Hollywood Mattel line. Grabbed the WrestleMania, the latest WrestleMania Shawn Michaels head. Popped that on there. Off to the races. You got the Shawn Michaels figure here in jeans. So I got that one. And then, of course, the Baron Corbin basic that is out right now is just the gift that keeps on giving. Grab two of those, of course. Ringside Collectibles. They could be your best friend for things like that. Use discount code Kyle. Save yourself 10%. Picked up two over there. I had an old Vince McMahon that I got from a beater pile, a loose one. I popped the body was all scuffed up, but the head was good. I popped the head on here, so we got a Vince McMahon in kind of a suit, no tie, but a suit right there. And then to match, why wouldn't you? I had an extra Eric Bischoff head. Threw one on there. So we got Eric Bischoff and we got Vince McMahon going. Some very, very easy customs. You just boil them in hot water, pop the heads, and bam, you're off to the races with some new figures. So Shawn, Vince, and Eric Bischoff in Kyle's customizing corner this week. So, oh man, what a time to be alive that was. We keep on rolling. Of course, we started unboxing these on the channel. We're almost all the way through. But the latest Ringside Collectible Mattel Elite set that just came through the door. I think it came shortly after weekly purchases was done last week. Got Shotzi Blackheart. We got Bobby Lashley. We got Jimmy Uso. A lot of people say it's Jey Uso. Who knows? I'm just going to go with Mattel. They said Jimmy. I'm going to go with them. But it's Jimmy or Jey Uso, whatever you want to say. Of course, Eddie Guerrero, the basic version, the non-chase version. We got John Cena, looking good. John Cena, a render of modern-day John Cena. And then we got Big E as well. So we got those guys through the door this week. A little bit of a Lucy portion here of weekly purchases. And then we got two more. Of course, I talked about these via Ringside Collectibles. Use discount code Kyle. Save yourself 10 cents. Save yourself 10 cents or 10%. I'd take the 10% over the 10 cents. We got Britt Baker, Supreme line. And we got another Cody Rhodes from the Supreme line. So I have to have two of these. We'll see about how deep this goes. This is a tough one because it's such a big box. You know, if they do like the Mattel Ultimates, I don't know who would have the room for these. But we'll see. As of right now, I'm all in on a mint set and a loose set. I don't really collect the other sets from AEW on mint on card outside of the chases anymore. So there is a little bit of hole and some space. And that's where the Supremes are going to fill for me. At least for temporarily. I don't know. We'll see. If it does keep going like the Ultimates have, I might have to rethink that down the line, but we'll see what happens. So there's round one of weekly purchases. Let me clean this up. We'll be back with round two. All right, we got a few more things to finish off weekly purchases here, so let's get into round two of weekly purchases. And how about a little clearance finds of the week? I did get another version of Catwoman. One of my local Targets just had one left for $4.99. I said, you know, this could be a good giveaway. This could be a long game. Who knows? But it is Catwoman. It's not the brand new one. I'm playing a long game on that new one. This is the first version of Catwoman we got from the Batman 66 line. I ended up getting this off of Amazon from other sellers. $15 shipped. It's Nightwing, Death in the Family, the more Joker head look there. And I figured, what the heck? Why not? Pick that up for $15. $9.99, one of my favorite miscellaneous figures of this year. Piranha's head from the Power Ranger Lightning Collection. just an absolute fabulous, fabulous figure. I love this figure. And for $10 on clearance, I said, I don't know what I'm going to do with this, but I'm picking it up. That's how much I like this figure. So I had to pick up old Piranha set for $10. Got to get a deal all day long. So I did do that. I did pick up another, what is it? Classic Superstars, George the Animal Steel. I went back and forth. I said, I have the chest hair, the real fur version. I have that unboxed. I said, do I really need the painted on chest hair version unboxed? And I ended up deciding, yes, I do. So I have a mint on card one, and now I have one to unbox of the painted on chest hair George the Animal Steel. So I'm all in on the classics line. You guys know that. All in. No doubt in anybody's mind, I don't think. So I got him this week as well. The Ric Flair Micro Brawlers continue. Got another one. Got the bloody version of Ric Flair. I can't even remember how many I've got. Did I get 3 last week, 1 this week? Does that mean there's 1 more still to come? It's been so long since I ordered it, I can't even remember. But I think there might be 1 Micro Brawler still to come. We'll see if that happens maybe for next week on weekly purchases. Now here comes some frustration of the week here. I did get the G.I. Joe retro carded Destro, Gung Ho, of course the Baroness, and Lady J. So I got these 2 right here because this one is as close to mint as I could get for Destro. This Lady J is a beater, but I still need to unbox her. But I think a lot of collectors, if you collect this line, you know the pain over the last week. As every single one of these were shipped in mailer packages, not even bubble mailer, just regular mailers, all separate and just absolutely destroyed. Now I got 3 of every single character because I knew, hey, I want a mint one and I want a loose one. Well, if I order multiples, I'm bound to get a mint one. If I have extras, I can take them back to Walmart. That was my plan. That was the plan. But you guys know what happens when you got plans. They all came damaged. So I had 3 of every character totally damaged. 1 Gung Ho, 1 Destro. We unboxed on the channel. Check out that review, like I said. This Lady J, I am going to unbox. And of course, we unboxed the Baroness a while back. So the rest, I said, well, I'm going to Walmart to take them back. But then here's where things went south in a hurry, in a real hurry. I went there, went to scan it. Hey, I need to return this. They scanned it, said, oh, we can't return this because you bought this over 90 days ago, which we pre-ordered these back in like February, and we paid for them in February. Well, they shipped out a week ago, and they told me at the register, sorry, we can't return them because it's outside of the return window. I said, well, so I bought them, but you shipped me hot garbage in a mailer bag, and I can't return them? No, you can't return them, and even if we wanted to return them, we couldn't because the barcode is not active in our store, so there's nothing we can do. She said, you just got to call the help desk. So I ended up calling Walmart. My wife and I sat in the car forever. Ended up having to call 3 different times because they kept messing up. The final time, we're still waiting for our barcode receipt, but basically saying, hey, you're SOL, you can't take any of these figures back. What a messed up system from Walmart. Now, I can't really blame Walmart for the packing because guess what? Walmart doesn't have a control over that. A lot of people, not just these figures but others, they complain, oh, Target, oh, Walmart, they shipped it like this. Well, guess what? It's really up to Hasbro, Mattel, or whoever to tell Walmart or Target, hey, this is how you should ship this stuff. And in return, Target or Walmart might say, well, we need an extra $1 per figure if you want that to happen. That doesn't go on. And guess what? Walmart, they treat this just the same as hand towels, a bag of chips, whatever. It's just merchandise being moved through the system. And probably most people in that warehouse think, oh, this is just a kid's toy. A kid won't care. We know that's not the case, but you got to take that big step back. It is up to Hasbro to ship these in maybe a bubble mailer, or not a bubble mailer, a boxed mailer, and then the Walmart can put that in a bubble mailer. That's what it's going to take, but Hasbro doesn't want to foot that cost. Walmart definitely doesn't want to foot that cost, so who ends up losing out is the customer. I am definitely done pre-ordering these from Walmart. I hope these hit stores. Maybe that's a way we can get some mint ones. I don't know, but I was hoping to have a mint on card set of this. I just don't think that's going to end up happening. But long-winded story right there, but very, very disappointing week for Joe collectors if you're wanting these mint on card. That is for sure. So we got those this week. And then here's one. I think I've come to the realization in the decisions. Things got to cut. Things got to happen. Things got to change. We've talked about it with inflation. And I said, you know what? What can I cut back on? We know I cut some lines out of my collecting. But I need to say, okay, I don't have to stop collecting some things, but I got to get a deal out there. And what am I going to get a deal on? Star Wars Black Series. I think I'm going to start playing the long game, or at least the longer long game on a lot of these Star Wars figures, as I see this coming a mile away. I don't know if everybody else does, but massive, massive clearances towards the back half of this year into early next year. The toy companies are producing tons of product because they're thinking it's all happy times pre-inflation where they were putting their forecasts together for these things. I think most of our toy lines, they're going to have too many toys produced, which equals clearance, which equals long game wins for you and me. And I'm going to start playing the long game on Star Wars. Now, I love Star Wars figures. You guys saw me. I did a year, yes, a year, on top of all the other videos. I did a daily bonus Star Wars video for 1 full year here on the channel. Hardest working man in show business, the hardest working man in YouTube. I need my cape like a young James Brown is what I need. But, you know, Star Wars, I absolutely love Star Wars. But I've decided to get out of the 3 3/4 Star Wars, just going all black series with this inflation times, things like that. And now I'm saying, you know what, these black series, they always go to deep discount. They always go cheaper. I need to start playing the long game. You know, not a lot of people watch the Star Wars reviews here on the channel. Most people watch the wrestling, of course, as we know. That's what a lot of people like the best. But I like a lot of other stuff. But not a lot of people like the Star Wars. I don't think anybody comes to me for my Star Wars things. At least I've never heard that feedback. So maybe I just stop doing Star Wars reviews, or just once in a while a Star Wars review on the channel. Play a little of that long game. Wait for those deep clearances. Wait for those deep sale events. That's when I'll start scooping in and grabbing my Star Wars. So I made that realization this week. On the fig hunt, you saw me. I found that new Jawa at Target, and I said I was getting it. Well, then I thought twice. I said, you know what? I'm going to play the long game. I'm going to put it back. But the joke's on Kyle here. As I said, I made this decision earlier in the week. What do I get through the mailbox that very day? I get the Tika, the Jawa, and I get Galen Urso from Rogue One. So I throw them around. Both Target exclusives. Got these in the mail because, of course, I pre-ordered these a million years ago. So these came through the door, and I guess I'm still in. But I did get a deal on both these. I did buy them when they were on a little sale. So I did get a little bit of that long game win. But we'll see what happens with Star Wars Black Series. I might play a little bit more of that long game on these. Got to save money somewhere, and I don't want to cut out my wrestling. I don't want to cut out my G.I. Joe, that's for sure. Super 7, you can get deals, but not as widespread as something like this. Something's got to give. I think it's Hasbro Black Series, at least for now. We'll see what happens. I could tell a different story on the channel next week. I got so many pre-orders out there. You never know. I might forget to cancel one. You never know what might happen. But interesting time. I think a lot of us are coming to those decisions on a few of these lines out there that, hey, I'm not going to stop my Star Wars Black Series, but if I wait an extra month, guess what? GameStop, Target, Walmart, somebody will have a sale. Somebody will have a coupon. Somebody will have a deal, and that's when I'll strike on some of these, because outside of a few characters, like this Galen Urso, he's going to be $8 eventually. Tika, same thing. These are going to be very cheap. You shouldn't have to pay $24 for these guys. They will go on clearance. I guarantee it. I just guarantee it. So there it is. There is weekly purchases. As I look around, I don't see anything else around. So that is it. That's the end of weekly purchases. But what did you find this week out there in the stores or through the mail? What came in this week that you were all jazzed up and hyped about? Let me know in the comments down below. Of course, like this video. You made it this far. Subscribe to the channel. Turn on the old notification bell. We got videos every single day, as you guys know by now. Check out the Patreon. We showed what the monthly giveaway is for August. Would love to have you over there. Always appreciate the support of the Patreon. Folks out there, you get exclusive content, bonus content, monthly giveaways, and best of all, you get to support the channel. You can also hit me up on social media, SirPaul64 on Twitter, Instagram, _Kyle_Peterson, and ProWrestlingTees.com. Dude, summertime to save yourself 20%. Got to get a deal out there. And if you're not going to buy my shirt, at least get a Terry Funk shirt. So there you go. So you know what I'm doing next? I'm rocking and rolling, strutting and strolling my way into the weekend. And I'll see you guys all real soon.